I'm Jen Wilson, the Healing Rebel, and today we're going to do a trigger point Pilates style class to release and relax the body. So it's all about chilling out. Now you're going to need a few bits of equipment for this class, and I've given some examples here. Right, what we want is a hot water bottle, one of these nice long ones with some warm water in it. I have mine filled about halfway. You can have it up to 2/3 full. Don't overfill it. If you don't have a long hot water bottle like this, you could get a blanket and roll it up. What we want is we want something that we can lie on that will be from tailbone right up to the back of your neck. So we're going to lie on that. We're also going to use a pillow for our head when needed so that we're not craning through the neck. I'm going to use these squishy trigger point Pilates balls today. If you don't have these balls, but you've got spiky balance pods, you could use that as an alternative. Or if you have a Shakti mat, you could use that. Get the spiky neck pillow part of it. If you don't have them, if you've got two balls that are not roughly the same size, you want them the same size. Two balls the same size that are squishy. Don't want hard, solid, really firm balls because that's going to cause pain in the body, and we're trying to release, relax and unwind. Anything that doesn't feel right in your body as we go through it, please stop. Please do listen to your body. We're here to tune in, switch off some of the noise, calm the nervous system down. So if you're feeling that pain and that push against any movement, your body's not going to release and let go. So let's come on to your hot water bottle. So I've got the cork end at my tailbone end, just in case it bursts open. You don't want hot water squishing down your neck. So I'm going to put my tailbone right towards that cork end and then lie down so that my spine is along the line of that hot water bottle. And then I'm going to take my two spiky balls, I'm going to put them in at the back of my neck. So you could put your Shakti pads there. You could put the spiky balance pods. You could put a couple of squishy tennis balls. Maybe even a rolled up towel if that is all you have handy. And then we're just going to let the hands rest down to the side with the palms faced up. Let's just take your feet slightly wider than your hips and let the knees rest against each other. So we're allowing this lower back to relax. And if you've been holding your breath, exhale. Let the breath go. Now, if you've got a pillow at the top of the head, you might want to take it away just so that the skull can slide back, the chin can lift up, but your neck should still feel supported by your balls. I want you to place your hands onto your lower ribs. And as you're taking your breaths, can you feel your ribs expanding out and softening back in? Now, if you're really tight here, it might take a few rounds of breath. Now, if your balls keep feeling like they're sliding away from you, you might want to put a resistance band or a towel over them just to hold them together. Got slidey here. I've just washed mine, so it's maybe a bit more slidey than usual. Can you just feel the warmth up your spine? And if you've not got the hot water bottle and you've got your blanket, can you just feel that light pressure on your spine? And follow the breath as it moves in and out. Just getting a little bit of movement into the rib cage. Doesn't need to be a lot. We want that diaphragm to move, giving the internal organs a bit of a massage. And there's no rush. There's no need to race through this. We're here to let the body release and relax, and it will not do that in a hurry if it does not want to. Trying to allow the fascia, which is the connective tissue that weaves in and out through every cell, every fibre in your body, including your organs. And the fascia can't be rushed. It gets tense and tight through everything we do, every time we're stressed, every time we're taking too much on board and not releasing. So when we hold our breath in, everything in the body constricts. How many years have you been doing that for? Can we bring our hands a little bit higher up on the ribs? So maybe just to the sides of the chest. We're still following the breath in and out. Now you might want to move your balls slightly higher up the skull so that they're in the mid-skull, holding the skull and the neck in alignment with the rest of the body. Moving them to a slightly different point. As you're taking those breaths, allow the rib cage just to move out into the hands, noticing where you meet restriction. Now, if you've got a favourite kind of music, it helps you relax. You maybe want to have that on in the background. When I do this class live in person, I use my drum and drumming music in the background. The vibration of the drum just connects in with the heart, connects in with the nervous system. And we're just trying to let the body reset. At the end of your next exhaling breath, can we slide the hands a little bit higher? So maybe taking your thumbs up into the armpit area, trying to feel these upper ribs. If you're tender in here, don't press really hard. But if you are tender there, just observe that you're tender. That tenderness will be tension in the fascia. There's lots of research now showing that gentle touch can really help release the fascia sometimes and quite often with better ease than going in really hard. So while deep tissue massage has its place in the world, so does soft touch. Soft touch can be very, very effective, particularly working with the fascia. And as you're taking your breaths, can you notice, are you breathing it in through the nose? And if you're not, can you try and breathe in through the nose? And as you're breathing out, it's up to you whether you breathe out through the nose or out through the mouth. I know quite a few people that come to class find it beneficial to, as they're breathing out, to make a little circle with their lips like they've got a straw in their mouth, and breathing out as though they're breathing out through a straw. So it allows the breath, that exhaling breath, to be long and to be slow. But I want you to find what feels right for you. And just because something works for one person doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody. I always want you to explore that. Now, can you bring your hands up onto your chest area? Where the breastbone stops at the bottom of the neck, so we're not holding on to the neck. One hand stacked on the other. And just letting the weight of the hand rest there. So that over maybe your spiritual heart area, which sits just to the right of your physical heart, just in the centre of the chest. And hopefully with your hands there, as you're exhaling, you can feel things soften. Now at any point, as I said at the start, if you start to feel uncomfortable, if the breathing rate starts to change, something doesn't feel right for you, then please adapt what we're doing. Take your hands away if that's what you need to do. At the end of the next exhale, I'm going to take the hands away. We're going to take the balls out from the back of the head. If you've got a pillow there, slide it in just so that your skull's not dropped down. And we're going to shift the balls to go under your butt. So just one at each butt cheek. And depending on your hot water bottle and the width of your bottom, that will determine where the hot water bottle, where the balls are sitting. Hands down to the sides with the palms faced up. And just let your body settle here, getting Familiar with this new pressure and on the back sides, and if you feel like you need to move the balls at any point, please feel free to move them as you need. Still feeling the warmth up the spine. When our bodies are warm and cozy, they're able to relax more easily. So if you're chittering, you're shivery, you're cold, your body goes into this state of tension, goes into that sympathetic nervous system, the fight and flight. We pick the arms up and make circles with the arms. Keep the elbows slightly bent. And notice the shoulder blades at the back of the body. As we're opening out, sending those shoulder blades down into the warmth, pulling round, coming up. So keep the arms bent to start with. And then depending on how this movement feels, you might stay here. This might feel like enough of a movement, or you might start to take the hands a bit higher, reaching through the middle fingers. As you come up, you come round and all the way back. Obviously, if you've not got the space to take your arms out long for any reason, then just keep your arms as bent as they need to be. Don't hurt yourself on your furniture or any of your surroundings. And you might notice as you take your arms up and overhead, your chin kind of drops down and then it lifts back up as your arms come down. And we're not forcing that movement. We want it to happen just naturally in the wave of this movement. Lifting up and circling around. We're going to do that one more time. And then letting the arms settle to the sides. We're going to come down into the lower body. So have the soles of the feet pressing into the floor, roughly hip width apart. You might want them slightly wider depending on what feels more comfortable. Now, I'm going to move the leg that's on the camera side, and I'm going to roll onto the pinky toe side of my foot to let my knee drop it out to the sides. And then I'm going to pull that back up. So staying on the same leg, I'm moving the knee out. And then I'm pulling it back up. So I want you to be aware of the opposite side of the pelvis. I want you to keep it where it is so it's not following the leg. This other leg can move around if it needs to, but it's the pelvis we want to keep still. Opening out and closing in. I don't want you to hold your breath here. I want you to be aware of your breath. So you might want to exhale as you let that knee drop out. And maybe inhale as you come back in. If that rhythm feels like a good rhythm for you, that's where you're going to stay. So still on the same leg. And the next time the knee drops out and you're on the pinky toe side of the foot, we're going to slide that foot down towards the end of your mat. And then you're going to turn your toes so that they're pointing to the ceiling, press the sole of the foot out. Now the other foot, I want you to press it down into the floor as you drag the other leg in. That's going to help engage the tummy muscles without you having to think about engaging the tummy muscles. The knee drops out. We're still on the same side, so I'm still on that camera side. We're going to slide the foot down towards the end of the mat, then turn the foot so that the toes point to the ceiling. Press this leg down, drag the other leg back in. So you're maybe exhaling as you go out and slide along. There's no rush. And maybe inhaling as you come back in. Remember, if that breathing rhythm doesn't feel right for you, then do the rhythm that does feel right for you. It's more important to keep breathing so that we don't hold that breath. Now we're going to start to add the opposite arm in on the next movement. So as the knee's coming out, the opposite arm is starting to lift up, reach up to the ceiling. As the leg slides along, the arm comes up and overhead. We're reaching through the sole of the foot, through the fingertips. We're getting this nice long diagonal stretch across the body. Now, as you're bringing your arm back, if you've got the space, pull it round in a semicircle at the side. So you're sliding the shoulder blade back down. Imagine that you're bursting a balloon with the armpit as you bring the arm down. Now, if you don't have that space there, then we bring the arm back up and over, where we're thinking about sliding that shoulder blade down the back as we're bringing the arm in. leg's going to come in at the same time. So putting them together, knee goes out, arm comes up. We slide it long, we reach it long, and then we pull it all the way back to the start. Remember, and press this opposite foot down into the floor. Knee goes out, arm comes out, up, we go long. Press out through the sole of the foot, reach through the finger, pull it all the way back to the start. Knee goes out, arm comes up, maybe on an exhale. Let's pause at the end for that stretch on an inhale. And then let's exhale back. Knee goes out, arm comes up on an exhale. Pause for an inhale. Exhale, pull it back. Pause for an inhale. Exhale, knee goes out, arm comes up, we go long. Press it out, reach it long on an inhale. Exhale, pull it back. Let's do one more here. Exhale it out, pause for an inhale, and exhale it all the way back in. And then just let the body settle. Take a few breaths. Notice that side that's been moved, that diagonal line, the sides that haven't been moved yet. What awareness of them do you have? I'm going to start moving the leg that's furthest away from the camera, so the knee's going out to the side, and then I'm pulling it back in. So again, we're thinking about the pelvis, we're not letting the pelvis follow. This knee can drop out to the side if it needs to, but try and just keep it steady, keep the sole of the foot planted on the floor on the camera side leg. So again, think maybe you're exhaling that knee out, inhaling it in, just to give you the rhythm so we're not holding our breath. The next time we're coming out, we're going to slide that foot long. So on the pinky toe side of the foot, slide the foot down to the end of the mat. Then turn the foot, toes up to the ceiling, press out through the sole of your foot. Press this other foot down as you slide the leg back in. Take the knee out, slide the leg long. Press out through the sole of the foot and drag it back in. Sliding out and long, push out through the sole of the foot and pull it back in. Knee goes out, slide the leg long, press out through the sole of the foot and pull it back in. Now we're going to add that opposite arm in. Knee goes out, arm comes up. We take it long, reach through the finger, press through the sole of the foot, and then pulling it all the way back to the start. We pause for an inhale, we exhale, go long. Pause for an inhale. Exhale, pull it back. So remember, we're bursting that balloon at the armpits. We're bringing the arm back. Pause for your inhale. Exhale. Go long. Pause for your inhale. Exhale, pull it back in. And again, out and long on an exhale. Inhale, exhale, pull it back. Going to do that 2 more times. And then when you've come back, let the soles of the feet come together. Let the knees drop out to the sides. Have the palms faced up. And just letting the body open out. Going to bring those knees back in. And you're going to gently roll to one side to take your ball out from under one butt cheek. Roll to the other side. Take the other ball out and then keep rolling over onto your side so that you can move your hot water bottle out. And we're going to slide it out and then we're going to change the directions. We're going to have it cutting across your mat and then have it just in at the top of your pelvis. Just finding a nice comfortable place there for it. Take the arms out wide. Let the shoulder blades melt back to the floor. Palms faced up. Have your feet about shoulder width apart. And then on an exhale, you're going to let your knees gently roll over towards your right as you slowly turn your head to the left. Just coming into a twist. Notice any points of tension here. As you're inhaling, bring the head and the knees back through the centre. And as you're exhaling, take the knees to the other side, turn your head the other way. Inhale back up. And exhale it over. Inhale it up. And exhale it over. Just letting the spine spiral. And when you come over, this time we're going to hold it here for a few rounds of breath. As you're breathing in, can you breathe into the rib cage? As you're breathing out, can you let your body soften a little bit more? The end of the next exhale, gently bring the knees, head through the centre on an inhale. Exhale, take the knees over to the other side, and we're going to stay here for a few rounds of breath. And at the end of the next exhale, bring the head back up to the centre, bring the knees to the centre. Bringing one knee in towards the chest, hand onto the shin, bring the other knee in. Just allowing that lower back to go in, apply a little bit more pressure onto your hot water bottle. And if it feels nice to, gently rock from one side to the other. And then release one foot down, release the other foot down. Press the feet into the floor just enough to lift your hips up off your hot water bottle. You're going to slide that out, pop it to the sides, let your spine come down to the floor. Place your hands onto the lower ribs. Step the feet slightly wider than your hips, let your knees rest against each other. Bring awareness back into your breath. And follow the breath as it goes down into the lower ribs. And just noticing if there's any more movement in your body than there was at the start. Maybe some of the restrictions that you had have dissipated. And we move our hands slightly higher on the rib cage. And again, just noticing that movement through the mid rib cage. Has anything changed there? I know for me, I'm definitely getting more movement. The breath feels a slightly deeper. And then from here, moving the thumbs up in towards the armpits to feel in for those upper ribs. And if there was tenderness there before, is that still there? Has that disappeared slightly? And then from here, taking your hand to the top of the breastbone, just under the collarbones, one hand stacked on the other. If that felt unpleasant before, how does it feel now? Is there more movement here, less movement here? Does anything feel softer? And then just letting the hands come down to the sides of the hips with the palms faced up. And pay attention to your spine. Notice the weight of the back of the skull resting into your pillow or into the floor. Notice the space at the back of the neck that doesn't touch to the floor. Notice the shoulder blades and the spine that sits between the shoulder blades, how they are in contact with the floor. And then as you move your awareness down the rib cage, as you get towards the lower back, there may be a space there. And then the awareness to the back of the pelvis and the weight that sits in the pelvis. And then the space that we've created at the back of the legs with the knees being bent. And then the weight of the heels being in contact with the floor. And then the space of the arches that are slightly lifted off the floor. And then the weight of the contact through the ball of the foot. And then awareness of the space at the bottom of the toes. And then the contact and the weight of the tips of the toes as they rest into the floor. Observing how you feel. Your body feels softer. You feel like you have released some pressure, some tension within your body. Do you feel like you're more relaxed now than you were at the start of this practice? Hopefully you feel like there's more space within your body. Only when you start to feel ready to, with this sense of spaciousness, with this sense of release and calm that you've created in your body, can you slowly roll yourself over onto your sides. And you're just going to rest on your sides for a few moments. It's suggested that you roll over onto your left side, but if you instinctively roll over onto your right, then just allow that to be. And you can spend as long as you need here before you bring yourself up. You're only going to bring yourself up when you feel ready to, and try and come up with as much ease as possible. Slowly moving through your day. So I want to thank you for joining me in that practice. I will be hosting these release and relax in-person sessions here in my private home studio in Springburn in the north of Glasgow. So if you are in the area and you would like to join me, I would love to have you there. I will put the details into the notes underneath this video. If you've got any questions, any comments, any feedback, please do leave them in the comments, and I will hopefully see you on another video at